Okay, so what I said recently about the best gear being the gear you have, it's not 100% true. So I was mulling over what I said, and it sounded something like, the best tools are the ones that you have, and the ones you are going to use. But what I meant to say was, the best gear is the gear that you have and that you use if you learn how to use it properly. Okay, so there's a subtle difference here that we need to get our heads around, which is something professionals in particular are really good at, which is we go, I'm gonna buy this amazing, huge, wonderful, awesome thing! Woo! And then we get the thing, and then we get busy, and then we don't actually learn how to use it. So, what are we gonna do about that? Well, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for a walk in the park.
Dream up a world of pirates, climb the highest tree, fall down. Mama, I'm fine, don't worry. Go back out to sea, sail home, sweet home, where the ships must go to get all cleaned up and put away. Call it a day, call it a day. Fight off 1,000 monsters hiding in the sands on Mars. Hijack a flying saucer, steady on the hand. Fly home, sweet home, where the saucers go to get all cleaned up and put away.
And we're back. Okay, so we're talking about gear. What you might have figured out from that B-roll that I just had playing in the background is I am still learning how to stitch these things together. That's part of the reason I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I'm curious about the process and I want to learn how to use the gear. I like learning how to use new things, I like learning new skills, and that's what I want to get across today in terms of gear, which is there is no point in having gear if you're not prepared to invest the time to use it properly. And that probably means upping your skills. Okay, so buying new gear will not make you a better X, insert X here, writer, videographer, cinematographer, artist, whatever. Having better gear won't make you better at it. Having a faster computer won't make you a better coder. What will make you a better coder is being a better coder. That means learning what that involves and applying yourself to try it out, to practice it, to learn the skill, to hone it, and to master what it is you need to master in order for that to actually come across in the work that you're producing. So, the best gear available to you is probably not going to be that useful if you're just starting out, let's face it. Sure, it'll have lots of bells and whistles, but what's going to happen is this. You're going to buy this huge behemoth of a product or a tool, and you're going to only use this tiny, tiny, tiny little proportion of what it can actually do because you don't have the skills, and neither do I. And so I don't have the best camera gear in the world. I have okay camera gear, I have okay microphone gear, I have okay lights, but I'm trying to apply myself to learn these skills, and as I hit that plateau, that point where my skills have actually reached the limitations of what the device I have has to offer, then I will consider, okay, do I actually want to take this particular thing to the next level? Do I want to get the next tool or the next thing up? Or am I pretty happy with where that's at? Bearing in mind, I am not a professional filmmaker. So I'm talking about film at the moment, but we can apply that to really anything. We can apply that to writing. What gear do you need for writing? Well, all you really need is a pencil and paper. All you really need is a pencil and paper, and if you apply yourself to that, you'll probably become a better writer. You share it with people by handing it out. Maybe you've got a computer. If you've got a phone, you can write. You don't necessarily need the world's greatest software in order to produce a book. You just need to apply yourself to the task. And then at a certain point, you might decide, okay, now I want to get Scrivener or Scrivener, I actually don't know how you say it, or whatever it is that you might use in the writing process. Artist work is, and I can't draw to save myself, but the pencils or the paintbrushes or the paints or the canvas or the whatever you use, if you bought all of the most expensive kit, it's not going to help you produce a better painting. But what will help you produce a better painting is by doing it consistently. So that's the point I was trying to make in the last video, and I made it fairly poorly, so I did another video which may sound like an excuse that I just didn't have a topic to talk about today, but I promise you it's not. And with that in mind, here's what I'm going to do. Firstly, I'm going to keep practicing because that's what this is about. Secondly, I am going to start doing maybe a few tech-related things if people would find that helpful, so that you can start to think, okay, Chris knows about 0.5% of what there is to know in this particular industry. Maybe what he says about microphones might be helpful, or cameras, or software, or I don't know, I haven't actually thought about what I'm going to do yet. But we will get there, and that might be helpful for you, so stick around and subscribe if you haven't already, and that's all I had to say. Don't forget to subscribe. Oh, and hit the like button too.
Call it a day.